Hey, you got a special guest on the line.
I do.
Yep. Let's get her on here.
Who you got?
All right, Gabby Franco.
Are you there, Gabby?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Gabby. Welcome to the zoo.
San Diego Zoo.
Thank you for having me.
You bet.
Excited to have you.
Absolutely.
So, Gabby Franco, Olympic shooter at the Sydney Games in 2000. She was on the show Top Shots twice. Mm-hmm. She shot for Para and now shoots for Remington. She's an NRA commentator, and I could go on and on. Most important, she's a mother and a wife, and she promotes the heck out of the shooting sports, which is why San Diego County Gun Owners is very honored to have her as our keynote speaker at our Second Amendment celebration dinner this year on May 6th at the Hotel Del Coronado. Welcome to the show, Gabby.
Yeah, welcome, Gabby. Are they making you wear a tuxedo, too?
Well, I hope so. It's going to be a special one, I guess.
Well, I've been so far, I've asked everybody. I asked Hollywood. He's wearing shorts and a T-shirt. So Lance is wearing his 511 tactical gear. Yeah. I don't know. I got told I even went and bought you, Mr. Schwartz, a special cummerbund and a bow tie just for that event.
See, this is why I had to get Gabby there to class the place up, because I knew you guys were going to.
Well, you wouldn't be able to do it with a tuxedo and me.
Well, I tell you, we've heard each other talk enough. Gabby, tell us a little about what you got going on.
Well, right now, I'm very excited to be the keynote speaker. It's going to be such a great honor, not only to speak about the Second Amendment, but what happened around the world. You know, many people they live in this bubble. We live in the United States. We have freedoms, but they don't know that freedoms, if you don't take care of them, you can lose them. So I'm very excited to talk to the crowd in California. That's awesome.
Well, you sound like you have just the slightest bit of an accent. Where are you from?
She's from Oklahoma.
Okay, just a little bit of an accent.
Just trying to be nice.
Well, that comes from someone else with just a little bit of an accent. So where are you from?
I'm originally from Venezuela.
Ah, very good. Very good.
Yes.
Is there a lot of shooting sports down in Venezuela, or is that odd?
There used to be. I used to shoot Olympic shooting over there, and they used to have, regular USPSA. Well, internationally it's called IPSC, IPSC. Mm-hmm. So, the same thing, trap, shooting, and everything. It used to be like that. Yeah. Hunting, a lot of hunting. My dad is an avid hunter. Fortunately, right now, once the socialist government in 1998 took power, they started with that anti-gun agenda. So they started with registration, and registration led to complete ban of firearms and obviously knocking at the doors of people's houses. I mean, the ones that they knew they had firearms, they knew who had them and what they had. And so right now it's technically, it's technically prohibited. When I say technically, it's because they say that you can own firearms and you can have a concealed carry, but you need to be the friend of the friend of the friend of,
have some kind of political connection.
Exactly.
Wow.
And a lot of money. So it's not really for the regular.
Does it sound like this is going on here in the United States? Isn't it kind of the same path that I see Venezuela went through, that we're going through? First is registration, then you know what I mean?
It is. It always starts with the same. It comes down to those who are not so naive and understand that, the ones who are in power, we actually give them our, the benefit of the doubt, that say, okay, we put you there, do something for our society, but at the same time, we can just be, they're perfect. They're going to do the best for us. We don't know them. They technically don't know us. They don't know what we go through throughout the day, where we live, who's our neighbor, who comes by around the house, and maybe they're not good people. So, you just have to keep your eyes open, and that's the thing that people don't see. They just see, I like that, congressman or that senator, and that's it. No, you have to keep them, on their toes. You have to, hey, dude, you're not doing what you're supposed to. And
you're exactly right.
Yeah, there's a difference between, making a campaign promise and keeping a campaign promise.
Yeah.
Now, in Venezuela... I was going to say, in Venezuela, how did you get into shooting, but how did you get into competitive shooting as well?
Well, my dad was actually getting his concealed carry license back then in 1991, and then when he was at the range, he learned that gun range had a Olympic junior shooting team. So he said, well, you know what, I have 3 girls at home, and they said, yeah, just bring them over, and that's how we started it. And, something, just trivia, my last name, Franco, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And the word shooter in Spanish means tirador, or the female would be tiradora. So when you mix my last name with the word shooter in Spanish, will be Franco Tirador. That means sniper.
Love it.
Yeah, Hollywood's changing his name. I'm changing my surname right now. That is
I love to teach. My style of teaching as a firearms instructor is a combination between self-defense, competition, and what I learned in Olympic shooting, which I think is what makes me different than most instructors. I bring the precision and the mental aspect that you learn to make, Olympic shooting is the perfection of shooting. That it doesn't get any perfect than that, And so I bring the whole package to teach my students not only how to shoot good, but how to understand why sometimes we don't shoot consistently good. What's going on? Technique, I can tell everybody. People tell me, but, the fundamentals. I'm like, the fundamentals has been the same for decades. You can look for books from 1950s, 1960s, and the fundamentals are the same. We align the sights pretty much the same thing, the same way. We pull the trigger pretty much the same way, and that's it. So what makes it shooting difficult in a way?
Okay, and before you answer that, we got to take a quick break, and we're gonna. If you can you hang with us, or do you still have to go Easter egg?
No, hang out with us.
Well, I don't want to take a leave. You have to go out and get those Easter eggs. I don't want to ruin your afternoon. All right, kiddo. We'll be right with you, folks. Stay tuned. Gabby Franco is going to stay online. Instructor, NRA news commentator, and did you get gold, silver, or bronze?
Where at the Olympics?
No, at the grocery store, of course. The Olympics.
No, I did. I actually didn't win medals at the Olympics.
Well, I had to ask, but I'm sure it would have been in your bio. But are you done? Are you done shooting in the Olympics?
No.
Oh no,
Okay.
I'm not. I actually. I'm training for Tokyo 2020. That's on my, on my calendar right now. So
what?
Been thinking about it since last year, and I started training this year.
Gotcha.
So what's your training schedule as a competitive shooter? What's your training schedule like? What's your competition schedule like?
Well, right now it's a little bit crazy just because as a new mother, it's a little bit difficult. So I train at least twice a week, go to the range at least twice a week. I don't have a set day, but I try to go to the range in the mornings for at least 3 to 4 hours, and then try to have at least a local match during the weekends.
Gotcha.
I do dry fire. I wake up in the morning, after feeding the baby, and then like 4-ish, 4:35, and then I work out, and then I do dry fire with my air pistol and shoot a little bit in my house. It's air pistol, so I have an electronic target that I can shoot in my living room, and then and Thursday nights I go to the range, air pistol range, back down in Dallas, and I shoot a little bit with the team. So I combine in the mornings twice a week to shoot USPSA with my .40 caliber, and early in the mornings I do dry fire too. So it's basically between everything else I do.
And you're sponsored by Remington. You're also sponsored by Liberty Safes, right?
Yes.
And Joe,
yes,
what kind of safe do you have?
I have a Liberty.
I'm a brand ambassador with Liberty Safe. They have been awesome, and it's nothing better than like companies like Liberty Safe and even Remington. They are like in history. So I feel honored to be with them, even though people they have had their hiccups and stuff, but every company has them. So
well,
I just backed up behind the people. They are great people.
I just want to put this into a little bit of perspective for our listeners out there. I was on the Marine Corps shooting team for a couple of years, and so for about 20 months, what I did was I spent 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, laying in the grass or standing on a mound, dry firing, pulling the trigger with nothing happening.
Yeah.
And then and still that's without even but I still shot 4,000 rounds a week to practice. So that doesn't even include the 4,000 rounds a week I was shooting, just dry firing every day. And the fact that she's an Olympic level shooter, like I wasn't even close to that.
Well, you should have gone out there for 8 hours.
Absolutely.
Well, I listen a lot to successful people, especially in the sports, athletes, and not only in shooting in general, because if you want to be good at it, you have to listen.
It's all about consistency.
And you have to listen to the best. You need to know what the best are doing. You can't just say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this. No, you have to listen. You have to go out and try. And, athletes like at Olympic level, they train at least 6 to 7 hours. Unfortunately, I don't have the time, but like I was saying before, I just try to put my hours. Okay, I can train after I feed my baby at 5 a.m. in the morning. I can put an hour of training. That's 1 hour. Then in the middle of the day, I can do maybe 30 minutes. Then at noon, I can do another 30 minutes. So at least I can finish a good 4 hours a day. So it's always finding the time and be committed. You have to be committed to do it. And I'm committed to it. I have in my head I will be at the Olympics Tokyo 2020, and that's what you have to do. So, when you want to reach something, and I am like that, I'm very visual and very goal-oriented, you not only have to say, oh, yeah, I want to do it. No, you have to do it. And the future will take care by itself. It depends on your actions.
And the gun law, we were talking about you originally being from Venezuela. The gun laws in Venezuela, is that what brought you to the United States from Venezuela, or what brought you here?
Well, there's a few things. More than the gun laws, because at the time I came here in 2002, even though there was already some restrictions, and even at the Olympics, I felt the impact. We couldn't get enough ammunition to train and all that stuff. But I, as a young woman at that time, I didn't see future with the socialism. This guy had some crazy ideas, and I came here, this country, to the United States by myself, against even my family. They couldn't understand it. I was Olympic hope for Athens 2004. Actually, my last international competition was in Brazil, and I won 3 gold medals out of 4 options of medals. And so I was in a good path to go to my second Olympic Games, but I just didn't see much future. So I came to the States and talked to a lawyer, and they told me I could apply for what is called an extraordinary ability visa, which is, when you have a skill, especially in education, medicine, or sports, you are a priority. And with my curriculum, in 1 year, I had my green card. So,
wow. That's amazing.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
So let me
we support it 100%.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Gabby. So you're going to go for 2020 in Japan. Will you be shooting for the United States, or will you still be shooting for Argentina?
Venezuela.
Or Venezuela. Close. Right next door. It's up the street and around the corner.
I choose. I will go with shoot for the U.S.
Okay.
The only thing I brought from Venezuela when I moved here, besides clothes and stuff, but was my Olympic uniform. I brought my Olympic uniform, what I wore at the Olympic Games, and my last medals in Brazil.
Nice.
So I always thought it would be cool to have my 2 uniforms.
Yeah.
From Venezuela and the uniform from the U.S. So,
and what event? What's the exact shooting event you're going to be?
I will be shooting. I don't know yet. I'm going to tell you why. There's 2 disciplines. I'm right now training air pistol, and I was talking to the coach, at at the club that I'm shooting at, and they are kind of pushing me to go to the other discipline, which is sport pistol. That'll give me two options to go to the Olympics, if I either make the team on both disciplines or one or the other. So definitely that would be a smart, thing to do. So it's just too much that right now I can't go committed to it. I just can't commit to at least air pistol. But my goal at least is going to be either or both air pistol or sport pistol.
Okay. Well, I got another question. You mentioned earlier you get up, you feed the baby, which is good, babies first, and then you work out.
Yes.
Do you have to work out to be an Olympic pistol shooter?
Well, that's something that most people don't even realize that you have to do. Olympic shooting is a sport that we don't move. The target doesn't move. We are very steady. However, even though you still have emotions and anxiety and all that stuff, your heart rate rises. It's going to be beating hard when you're nervous and everything. So when you're an athlete, obviously your heart, it's a muscle, so you're gonna control a lot better your heartbeat. Also helps you with your
adrenaline
muscles being standing for like an hour and a half in the same position. We raised the gun, which is like 2 pounds, I think 2.5 pounds, several times during training. But most of it, and also the core. I mean, you're standing. You have to be as steady as possible. And I'm not going to say it's required that everybody has to do it, but it's definitely ideal.
Awesome.
If you're in your best physical, you're going to be, whatever you do, you're going to be a lot better, I think.
All right, kiddo. Hey, Mike's got a question for you, then we're going to have to let you go. Look for the rest of those Easter eggs.
So you're doing 2 seminars here in San Diego. One's in Spanish on May 6th, and one is at American Shooting Center on May 7th. Tell us just a touch about those, but most importantly, tell our listeners where they can go for more information on those.
Well, they can go to my website, GabbyFranco.com/seminar, or just go to the website, GabbyFranco.com. You can find information right there. The seminar it's called the mental dynamics of target shooting. And basically I want to explain how the way we think affects the way we apply the fundamentals. Why sometimes it's so difficult to be consistently accurate. And it's all about the perspective, how we see and how we understand the technique. We have our mind, when we're shooting, when we're aiming, our brain is processing, our conscious mind is acting. And so there's some conflicts right there between your subconscious mind and your conscious mind when you don't have the training. People train maybe once a week. It may sound like a good time, maybe 1 hour. That's only 52 hours in a year. That's actually nothing. So if you don't have a perfect technique, all those years that you are training and you think that you have been training or shooting for so many years, you're probably just putting in your brain just bad muscle, you have bad muscle memories.
Well,
and
let me ask
you don't process information correctly.
Well, let me ask you this. So if I go to the range and open my eyes next time, I'll probably do better?
Yeah.
I never knew that. I always keep my eyes closed. Hey, Hollywood, you got one more question, then we got a break.
Well, it's not really a question. It's just an affirmation of what she was saying, is that, there's an old saying that practice makes perfect, and that's not true. Perfect practice makes perfect. So if you do, like she's telling you, practice one hour a week or even 2 hours a week, and you're doing it wrong, then all you're going to learn how to do is how to do it wrong.
Right.
So you need to get with her, get with one of her seminars, get with.
I also teach people how to train. People think they know how to train, but the people that are listening right now, I can tell you that most of the time what they do, they go to the range, open the range back, put the gun, load, and start shooting. That's not the way you train. And I'll teach you at my seminar how to train effectively, how to think effectively, so you can take the best out of your hour of range time or 2 hours of range time, whatever it is.
All right, well, we don't want to give any of your secrets. Hey, we don't want to give any of your secrets. Let's make them come to the seminar. So you're May 6th, and how would they sign up?
They have to go to my website, GabbyFranco.com. They go to the section where it's seminar. They can find the links right there how to register. Spanish is going to be in Pier 32 Marina, May 6th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
And May 7th at 9 a.m., that will be the English class. It's going to be at American Shooting Center.
Well, we need to get you at
Gun Range San Diego. We'll hook you
for
up.
An extra class.
And they pay more.
Absolutely.
So, hey, we're going to go ahead and take a break. Hey, I'm looking forward. You and I'll have some fun ramrodding this deal out the hotel.
Without someone doing something about it, it's not going to get any better.